look at heat OEQ question. Ahmad had 3 rods A, B, C made from different materials. When he touched the rod with his hand, rod A felt the coldest, followed by rod C and then rod B. So let's take a look at the diagram. So you have rod A, rod B, rod C. And we know that rod A is the coldest, followed by rod C and then rod B. Remember kids, remember to annotate your diagram, alright? Now, give a reason why Ahmad's hand felt cold when he touched the rods. So, do you remember the experiment where we did, in which we placed the ice on our palm? So what happened is the ice on our palm gained heat and it started to melt. Whereas for our palm, we feel very cold, right? Because our palm actually loses heat. So how do we answer? We use the ABC technique. So not every question we will need to start with an A. For this question, because it's very direct, we start with the confirmed concept. Ahmad's hand lost heat to the rods. So the key concept is lose heat. Now let's start with the heat OEQ part B question. Then Ahmad heated the rod to 90 degrees Celsius. He placed each rod into a beaker of water. He left the beakers in his room and measured the temperature of the water in each beaker over a period of time. The graph shows the results. So this is the diagram, and take note. Just now it says that Ahmad heated the rods to 90 degrees. So rod A, rod B, rod C, all is at 90 degrees Celsius, whereas the water in beaker X, Y and Z are all the same at 5 degrees Celsius. Now let's take a look at the graph. So you have X, Z, Y. So we know from this graph is actually a line graph. Do you remember that during sunny days, we tend to gain heat or feel warmer very fast, but as the days are very cold, we don't gain as much heat as we used to. So it's the same for this graph. If you take a look X, line Z and line Y, you can see that line X is steeper than line Z. This means that for base beaker X, it gains heat much faster than beaker Z and beaker Y. So from here we know that beaker X is steeper, has a steeper line than line Z, which indicates they gain heat much faster. And it also cools the fastest. Based on the results, which rod should be placed in a cup of hot water to cool the fastest? Explain why. So remember the ABC technique, we start with the answer. And we know it's rod A because just now, like I mentioned, rod A is in beaker X, and as indicated here in the graph, it says cool the fastest. Back with evidence. Why? What we can see from the question. The temperature of the water increased the fastest based on the graph, and confirm concept. Why? So what if the temperature of water increased the fastest? So rod A is the best conductor of heat as it conducted heat away from the hot tea to the rod the fastest. So what are the key concepts to take note? Take note that you should know that good conductor of heat and poor conductor of heat. Good conductor of heat are basically materials or objects gain or lose heat faster, and for poor conductor of heat is the opposite way round. So the keywords is temperature of water increase the fastest, best conductor of heat, conducted heat away, and hot tea to the rod the fastest. What are the key concepts? Temperature increase and conduct heat away. Alright students, let's recall some keywords that we go through just now. First is cold air contracts because they lose heat. So we all know that when air loses heat, air actually contracts. And conductor of heat, there's good conductor of heat and poor conductor of heat. Good conductor of heat are materials that gain heat or lose heat faster than poor conductors of heat. Conduct heat away, and when temperature increase, what happens is the air gain heat and the hot air expands. So that's all for today. See ya!